Talking about online hate, video from the fires. There was a video from the fires of a CFA Rural Fire Service, New South Wales, volunteer abusing the Prime Minister for allegedly saying that these volunteer firefighters didn't need to get paid because they love being out there. This video went viral. Have a look.
You from the media, tell the Prime Minister to go and get from Nelligan. We really enjoy doing this.
Now, yesterday, this same man, Paul Parker, claimed that he'd been sacked for saying that. And boy, did he get love and support from Channel 10 political editor Peter Van Onselen.
The message I got was about time you brought the truck back, because we were just about to send the police to go look for you. And then there were further comments with gestures and arm movements saying that I'm finished, it's all over. Another captain from another brigade within Bateman's Bay came out, and I asked him the question. I said, what's going on? And he said, you're finished because of your allegations and foul language against the Prime Minister of the country while representing the RFS.
So let me see if I understand this correctly. You've got the guts to say what you really think about the lack of action by the Prime Minister and others, and for that courage, yep, you then not only get kicked out of a volunteer organisation where you're trying to help save your own community, but you also don't get any follow-up about your own state and how you're travelling.
Daisy, fact check, Paul Parker was not sacked, says the RFS. No, the Prime Minister didn't say firefighters love to be out fighting fires. I've seen the transcript. And Morrison has paid firefighters up to $6,000 for expenses. But boy, the hatred this guy had and the abuse, the vile abuse of Morrison sure appealed to anti-Morrison journalists.
Well, yes, it did, but what we've got to remember, Andrew, is that the likes of Peter Van Onselen and co, they still haven't quite got over the fact that Labor didn't win the supposedly unlosable election last year. Yes, and that explains the giant pile-on on Scott Morrison over his conduct regarding the bushfires and all this screaming that if only Scott Morrison would do something about climate change, then none of the bushfires would have happened, which of course is ridiculous because, one, climate change is a global phenomenon. Like, no single leader of a country can somehow change the climate in their exact region by tweaking a few policies here and there. And also, as we know, Andrew, I mean, Australia's contribution to the Earth's emissions is only about 1.5%. So even if we went to 100% renewable energy tomorrow, it would not make really any dent in the temperature of the planet anyway. And as I'm sure you remember, Andrew, PVO, Peter Van Onselen, said just before the results came in during the election last year that he thought there was no way that Scott Morrison could win it, and that if he did win it, he would be happy to have that played time and time again to his shame. So we can see possibly where his thinking is and why he would jump on this story and not fact check it.
Well, no, there's one more step too, Daisy. The Prime Minister played exactly that clip at the midwinter ball at the press gallery to embarrass Peter Van Onselen, who has since been on absolute rampage. All right, so Scott Morrison didn't lose the last election. By crikey, we'll make him lose the next. Now, I said that Parker's hatred of Scott Morrison appealed to anti-Morrison journalists. I said it in the past tense because now, Daisy, on social media, in fact, I saw it on your Twitter feed, is this clip of Paul Parker explaining exactly who his real political hero is.
There's only one person that cares about this country, and that's Pauline Hanson. Come and see us in Nelligan, Pauline. Mate, you're unreal, you care about the country.
Which raises the question, Daisy Cousens, will Paul Parker still be the media's darling and a Twitter star now that he's outed himself as not a raging leftist and global warming crusader, but a Pauline Hanson supporter?
Oh gosh, Andrew, you can imagine my joy and amusement when I saw this clip this afternoon. I think I giggled out loud, that's for sure, when I saw it. The irony is just delicious. Look, I think there are two tactics that the regressive left tends to jump to when put in a situation like this. The first is to just drop the whole thing like a hot potato and delete tweets here and there and pretend that, no, we never saw anything about hashtag I stand with Fireman Paul. What are you talking about? The second technique, however, is to completely and utterly flip out and decry the fact that anyone like poor Fireman Paul could exist, etc., etc.